years old, I received the most devastating news in my life. My father had passed away. My father lost his fight against esophageal cancer. I will never forget how much his loss hurt me, how I became a stranded boat without a compass. I had not only lost one of the most important people in my life, I had lost the belief that everything was possible, that we can conquer all things. After his death, I was in a state of depression that I could not seem to shake off. I no longer had the same naive and optimistic outlook I once had. Without my mom's support and demonstration of courage for a family of 5, I would not have the courage to rise up from the ground. I learned to avoid dwelling in my pain and focus on school, the future, and my family. As I reflect back, I realize that even though my father's death ended my childhood outlook on life, it helped me become the independent, responsible, and selfless person I am today. Although my father passed away, he left me with 3 most powerful forms of inheritance. He left me with an inheritance of passion, values, and faith in God. He inspired my passion to serve others. I also received the values of transparency, hard work, education, service, relationships, family, love, communication, teamwork, integrity, accountability, responsibility, and humbleness. Most importantly, I inherited the faith in God, who has protected me and guided me throughout life. I will not cease to thank God and my family for this amazing inheritance. My name is Jess Salgado, and I am a candidate for the Masters of Arts in Leadership Development at Chapman University. I am also a heterosexual, Chicana, introvert, low-income, first-generation college student, and the first in my family to receive a master's degree. I believe that it is important to never forget where I came from and use my experience as capital to succeed in life. As a heterosexual Chicana, introvert, low-income, first-generation college student, it was very difficult to navigate higher education. I faced many financial obstacles during my undergraduate. Every year, I worked 3 jobs in order to make 5 monthly payments of $800 to $900 for tuition and fees, and to pay for expenses as a commuter such as rent, gas, internet, insurance, food, and school supplies. I barely made enough to pay for some expenses. There was a point in my life in which I had to decide if I was going to pay for gas or pay my tuition. Thankfully, my mother was able to help me pay for some of my tuition payments. God never left me alone in my financial struggles. Not only did I have to juggle 3 jobs every year, I also had to help out at home, such as making meals, cleaning, taking care of my younger siblings, and helping them with their homework. It was hard for my mother to do it alone since she had to work most of the time. I also assumed a mom role for 4 years since my twin sister moved to Los Angeles to pursue her career in nursing at UCLA. I am sure that I am not the only first-generation, low-income, and Latina woman that has to juggle many things. I also experienced culture shock on my first day as an undergraduate student when I stepped foot at Chapman University and thought that it was a predominantly white campus. I often faced imposter syndrome and felt like I did not belong at Chapman. My freshman year, I considered transferring to a Hispanic Serving Institution, or HSI, because I did not see a lot of people that looked like me. However, I kept going because I did not want to let my family down. My family and I had the mindset that we had to finish what we started. Inclusively, in my sophomore year, I was at risk of dropping out because I did not feel welcome at a predominantly white institution and felt like I was the only woman with a cabeza negra in my business classes. I sought programs and resources at Chapman University and participated in the Promising Futures program, but still felt like there was not enough programs and resources for students like myself. I even looked for pipeline programs and resources such as the Education Opportunity Program, or EOPS, Upward Bound, Student Support Services, McNair Scholars Program, and the TRIO program, but found out that there was no program like that at Chapman University. I then sought support from my peers. Thankfully, that same year, I met my best friend, Liz Carranza, who was also a Chicana woman who helped me stay grounded at Chapman University. She was the reason I pushed through. I also took my first leadership class with Dr. Resurrection that made me realize that even introverts and underrepresented students can be leaders. I remember that I made him keep me accountable to my academics by meeting with him once a week for the whole semester. It was thanks to him that I also realized that I did belong at Chapman University, that there was a place for me in the leadership studies minor, and that a passion for serving others was a passion worth fighting for. This empowered me to apply for the leadership studies minor. I was accepted into the leadership studies minor that same year. I had the honor of taking classes with Dr. Meyer and Kim Hayashi. They made me grow as a leader and made me discover the type of leader I am. I learned that I resonate with Robert Greenleaf's servant leadership. I began to enjoy my leadership studies classes in my minor, where I practiced engaged pedagogy more than my business classes, where I practiced the banking system of education. The love for learning more about leadership inspired me to apply for the Accelerated Masters in Leadership Development 4+1. In spring 2018, I was accepted into Accelerated Masters in Leadership Development 4+1. I remember sitting in the first master's class I took with Dr. Whitney McIntyre, called Leadership for Emerging Social Issues. After the first few minutes and hearing what the class was about, I was reassured that this is a program where I belong. The students in my class was a community of leaders that I needed post-undergrad. I was so happy to find another program where I belonged, where I would learn more about leadership, where I can practice engaged pedagogy, and where I knew I would continue to grow as a leader. I also met amazing teachers in the Masters in Leadership Development program. Some of these professors that helped me grow include Krista Pedro and Angel Miles Nash. I will be eternally grateful for all of the professors that I have met in both the Leadership Studies minor and Masters in Leadership Development program that helped mold me into the leader I am today. I am also grateful that I was introduced to different theories and authors that have enhanced my understanding of leadership and given me the tools to be a higher education professional one day. I am thankful for authors such as Bell Hooks, Dahl, Otto Scharmer, Parker Palmer, and Yoso. I am thankful for critical race theory, Yoso's cultural wealth model, the 6 types of cultural capital, aspirational, linguistic, familial, social, navigational, and resistance capital, and straight horse sense of belonging that combat deficit thinking and push for asset-based thinking. Thanks to these theories and authors introduced in the Masters in Leadership Development program, I have gained knowledge and skills that help me with my capstone project. I remember when I was in Krista Pedro's creative inquiry class and I was thinking about what to do for capstone. I had so many ideas spinning on my mind. It was not until I learned that I did not fit in with an organization that I had originally partnered up with that I realized that I needed to be passionate and excited for my capstone. After I left the organization, Chris informed me about the opportunity to work with Dr. Allen, Director of First Generation Programs at Chapman and leader of the Promising Futures program. Before reaching out to Dr. Allen, I remembered a conversation I had with my mentor, Lisette Martinez, that Dr. Allen was interested in bringing the Education Opportunity Program, EOP, to Chapman University. I was so excited about the possibility of working with him to bring EOP to campus. When I met with Dr. Allen and asked him if I can partner up with the Promising Futures program and him, I brought up my conversation with Lisette about EOP. Thankfully, he agreed for me to help him create a proposal to apply for the Education Opportunity Program and also encouraged me to create a proposal for the McNair Scholars Program. After I left the meeting, I felt so inspired, motivated, and excited to work on a capstone project that was intentional and that had meaning to me since I was going to work to create a proposal for a program that I wish I had during my undergraduate years at Chapman University and that I could have benefited. I knew that I was going to be part of something bigger. Unfortunately, in the 3rd month of the semester, I realized that creating proposals for both the Education Opportunity Program and the McNair Scholars Program was basically 2 capstone projects. I had to be sincere with myself and had to choose only one program proposal. I decided to do the Education Opportunity Program application proposal because it was one of the programs that I knew would have benefited me in my undergraduate years, and I was so excited about it when I heard about it in high school. Until this day, I do not regret choosing this program proposal as my capstone project. The Education Opportunity Program is a counseling and academic support program designed to help low-income, students of color, and first-generation college students succeed in college. It offers services such as summer programs to transition to college, counseling, mentoring, academic advising, early registration access, and financial assistance, offering grants, waiving or deferring certain fees. It is a program that is asset-based rather than deficit-based. It does this by centralizing the assets that students who are low income and first generation have. This proposal helps students financially, academically, professionally, and personally. It also helps create access for students while in college, create a sense of belonging for first-generation, low-income students on campus, and helps combat imposter syndrome. We will first create and present a proposal to apply for the Education Opportunity Program to Chapman administrators. The main goal of this proposal is to show how the Education Opportunity Program will better serve first-generation, low-income, and students of color. It will also help other programs and functional areas at Chapman University by providing more resources for similar students that meet their goals in retention, recruiting, and diversifying the student population. So why write this proposal, you may ask? One is to minimize the gap of resources for first-generation, low-income students of color I also write this proposal to help students like me find a sense of belonging, finish their degree and graduate, and to bridge the first-generation low-income students of color community to the rest of the Chapman community. I write this to voice the needs of my community of students. I write this proposal to combat the imposter syndrome that I faced during undergrad and during graduate school in my writing. I write this proposal to fight the neoliberalism that has taken over higher education. I write this to debunk any deficit thinking that exists regarding low-income first-generation students of color. Deficit thinking is a form of contemporary racism that exists in higher education. It takes the position that minority students and families are at fault for poor academic performance because students enter school without the normative cultural knowledge and skills, and parents neither value nor support their child's education. We are not at risk. We are just students that have different needs. Lastly, I write this proposal to help students that are in a similar situation I once was, a student that needed extra support as a first-generation low-income and student of color at Chapman University, a student who was afraid to ask for help because she was taught not to, and a student who was more individualized assistance academically, professionally, and personally. These are my whys to my capstone project. Despite all the setbacks I have experienced, I am thankful for everyone. It is easier to say today that when I was actually experiencing them. Each and every one of them has molded me into the servant and advocate leader I am today. Most importantly, my setbacks have inspired me to create opportunities and possibilities such as the Education Opportunity Program at Chapman University for students who will or are experiencing similar setbacks. Before I end, I would like to give thanks to people who have made this possible and who have shared with me a wealth of knowledge that is intangible but will never go away. Thank you to God who has been with me at all times, especially when I wanted to give up writing at 9 years old when my father passed away. Thanks to God, I now write for change. Thank you to all the professors that have impacted my undergraduate and graduate life. Linda Collage, who has also sparked my passion for writing. Dr. Resurrection, Dr. Mark Meyer, Kim Hayashi, Dr. Lola Gershfeld for sparking the love for leadership. Dr. Aguas, a Latinx business professor that believed in me. And Dr. Chris Pedro and Professor Angels Nash for being change makers and powerful professors of color that I need to survive graduate school. Thank you to my MLD cohort. It was a pleasure to hear your experiences, thoughts, and knowledge in class. Thank you to the friends that I have met in the MLD. Special shout out to the 2 squads that I became part of, Rebelde Squad and Squad Care. I will never forget you all. Carla Monterrey, Victoria Gomez, Susana Elizalde, Omar Zubayel, Haley Salzman, and Rebecca Hesgard. I want to thank Susana Elizalde, who not only have become dear friends to me, but have also empowered me as a Latina woman and pushed me to be the best I can be. I also want to thank the mentors that I have made at Chapman University. Thank you to Lisette Martinez for teaching me how to advocate for myself and our Latinx people. I am forever grateful for your life. Thank you to Erin Poland, who also inspires me, hears me, and pushes me to be the best I can be. Thank you to Elisa Mino, who has also served as a great woman mentor and encouraged me to keep going. Thank you to Dr. Allen, who not only served as my partner in this project, but is my first-generation mentor and helped me fight the imposter syndrome. Thank you to Krista Tane for being my editor and made me believe in my writing again. Thank you to Justin Riley, who also pushed me to be the best I can be and who has shown me that my goals are possible and to appreciate every experience I have. Thank you to Dean Price, who also made my education possible and has shared professional, academic, and personal knowledge. Most importantly, I would like to thank my family who has made my master's possible and who have accompanied me in my journey in education. Thank you to my papila and mamila that helped me during the roughest times of my life, who did not abandon us when my dad left this world, and who helped me in my education both financially and academically. I will never forget the knowledge you both shared with me, such as learning how to count by drawing little figures. Special thanks to my parents who left Mexico, the place that they called home, and sacrificed everything for us. Thank you to my dad, Gustavo Salgado, for the times you shared with me, for leaving us with intangible, valuable treasures that I will forever cherish, for fighting for the best education for us, such as looking for neighbors to help us with homework, and for giving me the desire to continue my education and pursue higher education degrees. Special thanks to my mom, Maria Luisa Salgado, who was the best leader to look up to. I dedicate my master's degree in leadership development to you, Mommy. Te amo, I love you so much. It was your selfless and servant leadership that inspired me to keep going and to give our family a better life. I also thank you for contributing to my education, financially, academically, and personally. I will never forget how you taught me to love math every single time we counted frijolitos or beans at our table, even if it was in Spanish, and how you would accompany my sister and I at 10 p.m. in the night to the closest school that had free Wi-Fi to turn in assignments. Last but not least, thank you to my siblings. I am grateful for my twin sister, Izzy Salgado, for being my critical friend, rock, and partner in crime. I am also thank you for being my biggest support and the person I cried with, laughed with, and shared and celebrated my successes and failures. I am so blessed to have shared every moment of life with you. It really is a blessing to be a twin. Thank you to my brothers Hector and Moises Salgado, because you both have always made my life an adventure, have also been partners in crime. Thank you to my sister Patty and brother Gustavo, because although some states separate us, you all have supported us. I love you all. To my first generation low-income students of color community, I would like to end with quotes that could not have been better said by powerful Latinx gente, Dolores Huerta and Frida Kahlo. Sí se puede, y a veces tienes que olvidar lo que sientes y recordar lo que mereces.